Yeah.
How leaders build respect across the organization without losing themselves. Hello, my name's Melissa. I'm an executive coach and a management consultant. And what I do is I work with executives and I work with high level managers and I help them enhance their leadership communications so that they have more influence and build their executive presence. And so I help people day in and day out build that trust, build that respect, build that influence so that they can have a greater impact in their role. Joining me today is Kay. Kay is a member of my team. Hello, Kay. Who are
Hello,
you?
Melissa. I'm good. Hi, everyone. I'm Kay. I'm the client solutions specialist at In Charge Coaching, which means I help Melissa connect and empower leaders and equip them with the right tools to lead with clarity and confidence. But today I'm here in a slightly different capacity, which is to offer employee perspective and just like the day to day view of how leadership shows up for employees. And I am very excited to share this stage and get started with the topic.
Awesome. And what's interesting about you, Kay, is you get to see the work behind the scenes that we do with
Yeah.
leaders. You get to see the results, but you also get to experience the
Mhm.
strategies that we're teaching and that we're empowering leaders with, because those are the same strategies that I'm using every day. So you get to
Absolutely.
compare what you've experienced from the past to living, right? And
Mhm.
experiencing the talk. We walk the talk.
Absolutely.
We walk the
Yes.
talk here at In Charge Coaching. So, I want to start with the fact that the landscape of the workplace is evolving. Things are changing, and the expectations that we place on leaders is changing. And so when we think about or we get promoted into positions of management or leadership or authority of some sort, there's something exciting about that, about being able to give back, to empower, to help support, to care for. And, I would say 100% of leaders that I have met and that I work with really care. They're
Mhm.
not looking out for themselves, but they really care about their employees, their team. They care about results. They care about delivery, quality of delivery to customers. They care about the success of the business. They care about their upline if they're not the one at the top.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of heart um, that these leaders come to the table with. And what's also true is the expectations that we place on leaders is a lot. And
Mhm.
if you just scroll social media, you're going to see lots of memes and quotes and different inspirational stuff about leadership. Um, my feelings about that are, it's great in a sense. It's not really accurate to reality, the
Mhm.
lived experience of being in a position of leadership. And that promotion and having that talk about leadership being so um, prominent right now uh, is
Mhm.
fantastic because we're becoming more aware, but it's also that our employees are holding us to a higher standard. And so, employees, what are employees seeking from their leader? Let me ask you, Kay.
I think it's about clarity. So I would just like start with an example. I do remember once I asked you like if I could fit in a quick meeting that week, and you said like not this week. I'm at capacity. You didn't over explain. You just named it clearly and kindly. And it was such a simple thing, but I felt so much clarity in that moment, and it made me respect your time as well. So I feel like clarity and transparency and honesty and support is what the employees, as an employee, I can say that I'm seeking from leaders.
Yeah. Yeah. And so clarity, they're also seeking direction,
Yeah.
knowing, and they want more meaning. So they want to know that the work that they're doing is meaningful. They
Hmm.
want flexibility, they want autonomy,
Yeah.
and what else? They want to be heard, they want to be understood, they want their input to mean
And
something.
yeah,
They want
absolutely.
their leaders to champion them.
Hmm.
And so, if you leave it at that, that's a beautiful thing. But the reality is that the employees want all of these things, and then our upline wants something slightly different from us as leaders. So our upline wants results. They want us to hold people accountable. They want us to move faster than ever.
Yeah.
And, often they want us to stop being so nice.
People
Right?
pleasing.
We'll get that feedback that, hey, I'm hearing what the employees are wanting and we're making this decision and sell it, right? Doesn't matter what
Yeah.
it's not, we need this to happen. And so that really puts you in a, you know, somewhere between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
And
On that note, Melissa, there are a few people watching us, and I would love to hear what you've been experiencing. So please drop it in the comments, and I'll definitely be sure to pass it on to Melissa.
mhm. And so we have tensions, that are in play that stretch us thin. We have competing priorities. We have conflicting items on our agenda, and we have conflicting feelings,
Hmm.
thoughts and feelings that are happening on the inside. And sometimes that can leave us feeling a conflict in our values.
Yeah.
And then
It's,
over time, you know, all of that conflicting values and feelings, and we get drained, we're burning out, and we start not wanting to be in that position anymore. We start doubting that this is the role for us, this is the company for us, this is what we want to be doing. And we start doubting how we can sustain it long term. And I get
mhm.
that. And that's what I call the leadership trap. And so many leaders are there. So
Hmm.
many leaders are there. And I hear it in all of my coaching sessions.
Yeah.
And so, what I'm helping people do, and I have been helping people do for a long time, and it's just becoming more and more apparent as things are speeding up and the landscape is changing, that we need to create balance. We need to create balance in our leadership style so that we are trusted and respected without sacrificing ourselves, without compromising our values.
Hmm.
And that's exactly why we this year have launched a very special masterclass called Boundaries and Balance, because boundaries is going to be the thing that's going to help you build that balance within your role. Okay, so I'm
Hmm.
talking way beyond work-life balance here. I'm talking about balance within your role so that you can be at your best when you're called to be your best in those critical moments. And in the Boundaries and Balance Masterclass, which is happening just next week, next
Yeah.
Tuesday. So we're just announcing it. We already have a slew of people already signed up. Here's what I'm going to cover. We're going to start by looking at how to align your boundaries with your unique leadership style. So I'm not going to tell you which boundaries to have, but I'm going to show you how you can consider your style so that you're setting the right boundaries. And that's going to help create that alignment with how you're showing up, how you're protecting yourself and your energy so that you can stop feeling so conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then we're going to look at the secret to boundaries that actually work. All right. A lot of people are setting boundaries that are time-based. Time-based boundaries, meaning I'm going to leave work at 5, or I'm not going to check my email after X period of time. And those are great. They're a great start, but they're not going to help you create that balance in your role between the 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you get exhausted. That's when you feel off balance. You're dealing with all of the tensions. You're pulled in all of these different directions. And at 5 o'clock, you feel exhausted. And so even if you're, really clear at 5 o'clock, I'm leaving and I'm disconnecting from work and I'm leaving work at work, you're still going into your life exhausted. And then how much energy do you have to engage in a meaningful way in your life? So it is more than just time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to expand on all of the different boundaries that you can and might need to be setting to create that balance across
Yeah.
your day. All right. Now, when we set the right boundaries, we need to communicate them. And this is where things get really tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Because we need to speak them in a way where we're feeling confident. We can speak it with assertiveness and authority, and yet we don't want to disrupt our relationships. We don't
Yeah.
want employees to think that they can't come to us. We don't want to lose out on opportunities that are coming our way, right? If I say no, will my boss give me the next opportunity, or am I just going to start getting passed over? And that's a real
Mm.
fear.
Yeah.
So we're going to spend a lot of time talking about how do we balance this approachability with authority. You can have both. And boundaries can be a wall if we set it up that way, or we can speak it in such a way that we create a bridge and we help people work with us in a
Mm-hmm.
way that we're both more effective and we're protecting ourselves in the process. All right. And all of which I'm going to be sharing inside the masterclass are proven strategies. These are the strategies that that I use with my clients. And I've helped clients. I'm going to show you the exact process that my clients undertake to set boundaries that work for them so that they can feel good. They can enjoy work. They can be the leader that they want to be and have the trust and respect across the organization.
Yeah.
All right. So how do we register? There is a link for you to grab your seat. It's completely free. The investment of time is 2 hours. And this is the type of investment that gets you your time back. So this will pay you back in clarity, in being able to communicate and protect yourself. And you can stop making everyone else emergencies your emergencies, right? You can start focusing on the
Yeah.
things that matter to you in your role. So there's a link in the comments. Is that right, Kay?
Yes, absolutely. Link is in the comments. It's also in the bio. And wherever you're watching from, you can just click on that link, register yourself. It's happening on June 10th, 12 p.m. EST. And those who attend live, They are also going to get a very comprehensive workbook prepared by Melissa, and it's going to be a very, I think it's so much better live, the energy, the community, the real time examples, plus when people, more people show up and engage, it's just like you walk away, you hear someone's question, and then you are the one walking away with that aha moment. So the more people who show up, the more electric it gets. And if it's on your mind, then show up. And even better, if you bring a colleague you trust. So that way you both walk away with so much clarity.
And you get to walk away having these really important,
Yes.
meaningful discussions with that framework. So yes, the workbook, really important. When we launched this masterclass in January, we didn't have a workbook. We went without, and the people who are used to work with me know that I'm the queen of workbooks. Okay, I give you something, I give you an exact blueprint so that you can rinse and repeat, that you can go into your life and into the workplace and actually repeat what you learned inside the masterclass. So in January, we did not have it. We got about 15 messages asking for the workbook. And so we came back the second time around with the workbook, and everyone was very pleased and excited about it. So we're happy to be able to provide that to everyone who shows up live. And we'll see you there. All you need to do is grab your seat.
Yeah,
It's free. We'll have a good time.
the
I'll make it
best.
entertaining. And we're going to walk away with tangible clarity and words that you can use to communicate your boundaries in a way that feels good, and in a way that feels good to you, but also feels good to others.
Yes.
So we'll see you next week on Tuesday. And if you're watching right now, drop me a little insight. What are you walking away with? What did you hear today that stuck with you? And once you have booked your seat, just drop in the chat, I'm booked, so that I know that you're coming and we can check that the technology is working good for us today. So once you claim your seat, just come back, drop in the comment, I'm booked. We'll double check that for you and make sure that you're all set. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a beautiful week.
Thank you.
Bye.